human beings, we kind of have this delicate dance we do with each other as we're doing things in traffic, and we're really at the not at a point where we understand how that works in a mixed human and machine traffic scenario yet.
That's our own Pete Bigelow, speaking about self-driving vehicles and safety concerns. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ANN. I'm Laura Harris. We'll hear more from Pete on autonomous driving technology later. But first, our lead story, which relates to Pete's insight on a San Francisco crash. A self-driving vehicle operated by Cruise was involved in a June 3rd crash, resulting in injuries to occupants in both vehicles. A Cruise vehicle operating in autonomous mode made a left turn in front of an oncoming Toyota Prius. The autonomous vehicle company is majority owned by General Motors. GM said its self-driving vehicle came to a stop in the roadway before completing its left turn and was stationary when struck. An autonomous vehicle safety expert said more information would still be needed to assess the behavior of both humans and machine in the crash. Cruise is an autonomous driving tech company. It builds self-driving systems and puts them in cars. As we just mentioned, it's backed by GM and is one of the leading companies in the space right now. But why would automakers want to invest in this technology? I spoke with senior editor Pete Bigelow about the future of self-driving vehicles, safety, and Cruise's recent incidents.
Why would you want to back a fleet of robotaxis and be the autonomous Ubers, for one example? I think that's theoretically, if you can take the cost of the driver out of a taxi, it could be a highly profitable business, one that is more profitable than a traditional business of manufacturing vehicles.
Autonomous driving is still in the beginning stages, and there's skepticism from the public on what autonomous driving is and how safe it will be. The unanswered question, as the industry shifts and automakers put more of a focus on self-driving vehicles, will the public's view change? And will it change for better or worse?
I think a lot of surveys in this space right now show that about 3/4 of the American public is skeptical / not yet willing to trust their life and safety to an autonomous driving system. So right now we're still in the very early innings of what this looks like. I think there's a lot of excitement, a lot of hype right now, and there has been for probably at least 10 years now.
This is not Cruise's first incident. There was a recent Robotaxi traffic jam also in San Francisco, when a small fleet of Cruise autonomous robotaxis suddenly stopped and blocked streets. The traffic type involved more than a dozen taxis and was not resolved until human operators removed the vehicles. With two recent incidents, Pete explains what Cruise can do moving forward to gain back the public's trust.
I think what they need to do would be to be very transparent with the public at this kind of, again, a very early juncture where I think their hope would be to build trust with riders. And the more transparent they can be about what's happened in these recent incidents should help build that trust. I think, again, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, so there's a lot of room to build that trust right now.
The Cruise incidents highlight that interest in self-driving vehicles is on the rise, and so is interest in EVs and low-carbon fuels. That's all based on a survey from Consumer Reports. The results showed that 14% of those interested in EVs said they would definitely buy or lease an EV. This is a 10% increase from the 2020 survey, and 71% of Americans expressed interest in buying or leasing an EV. But help from policymakers and automakers is crucial to make the process of getting EVs easier. Currently, the biggest barrier for those interested is charging accessibility. China is announcing new steps to increase consumer demand for new and used light vehicles. Under consideration, extending an EV tax break, building more charging stations, and encouraging lower charging fees. The world's largest car market has been hit hard by lockdowns in Shanghai and other parts of the country. Despite that, there's been a jump in EV purchases thanks to an easing of supply chain bottlenecks. Officials say car consumption may see relatively fast growth as policies take effect. More detailed policies on product safety and the establishment of additional charging infrastructure will be released later. Volkswagen of America's head of marketing is leaving the company after less than 2 years on the job. Kimberly Gardner was one of Automotive News' 100 leading women in the North American auto industry in 2020. VW hired her away from Mitsubishi in November of that year. A spokesperson for the company declined to comment on Gardner's departure. However, dealers were told she is leaving on July 15th. Gardner was in her role during the brand's Volkswagen stunt in March 2021 that involved the automaker posting a fake press release about a pending name change. The stunt was meant to call attention to VW's EV efforts. It resulted in a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission investigation. That's all we have for today for Auto News Now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at AutoNewsTV and online at AutoNews.com for updates from our reporters all day, every day. I'm Laura Harris. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.